73% of college graduates never use their degree. Think about that. 4 years, tens of thousands of dollars, and for what? The scariest part is that when most students realize this, the solution they have is to invest even more into education. You know, get a master's or a PhD or some professional degree. But what if I told you there's a different way? One that's smarter for 2025? And as you can guess by the title of this video, it is to start a business. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't starting a business risky? Well, here's the reality of the situation. Tech layoffs are rampant right now. Job instability is at an all-time high. And AI is coming for entry-level positions. Even some reports saying that AI is coming for high-level positions like pharmacists and doctors even. But at the same time, AI is making it even easier than ever to build something for yourself. And so, it's actually riskier not to start a business. So in this video, I'm going to make the case for why, if you're a student, starting a business is the smartest move you can make in 2025 and potentially your whole life. So I know the word entrepreneur might seem scary. Maybe it even makes you cringe a little bit when you think about those hustle harder bros living in their car and making, $10,000 a month and stuff like that. But let's think about it from a completely different perspective. What actually is a business? At its core, a business solves a problem. That's it. A car wash business solves the problem of a dirty car. A law firm solves the problem of people needing legal services. Okay, well, now let's think about this. When you go to apply for a job, what is it that the employer is looking for? They're looking for someone who is the best fit to solve a problem in their company. And so, by that definition, you already own a business. It's you. You are selling your skill set to solve a problem whenever you take a job. And so if you think about your ability to provide value or even help someone from that lens, it changes things a little bit, right? Because most people don't see it that way. I know I definitely didn't. They think that what makes you more hireable and more valuable is getting more education, getting another degree. But most degrees, and I'm saying this as someone with a medical degree, mean absolutely nothing without the ability to first understand really the core of what people want, which is how to solve problems. For example, if I wanted to grow a YouTube channel, which is my problem, who's going to be more valuable to me? A high school dropout who's obsessed with YouTube and has grown multiple YouTube channels to hundreds of millions of subscribers like Mr. Beast, or some dude who has a master's and a PhD in marketing. I don't even know if that's a real thing. But the truth is, you will never go jobless if you can actually solve problems that people have. And the better you can do that, the more successful you as a business become. And so this brings us to the next question. What problem should you solve if you don't know anything yet? Isn't that why you go to school? Well, here's the thing. Like I said at the beginning of this video, more than half of people who go to college work jobs in the future that don't require that degree. School is like this little bubble. You learn how to take tests, you learn how to show up for attendance, you learn how to do meaningless busy work and stuff. But when you start working, when you start building a business, people don't care that you did your homework. They just want you to solve the problem they have. And so what I recommend is that in your free time, because I know for sure you do have free time, spend at least an hour a day. It's not that much time, but spend an hour a day solving a problem that you actually have. Start by solving your own problems and then help other people who were just like you struggling with that problem that you just solved, help them overcome it. This is why an education business is the smartest business that you can start as a student. And unlike traditional businesses that you might think about that require huge upfront investments, an education business can scale infinitely. You can help one person or 1 million people with basically the same amount of effort. And to keep things as simple as possible, a problem that you solve doesn't have to be groundbreaking at first, right? Even the biggest companies in the world started with very simple problems, right? Amazon started as just selling books online. The first business that I started was teaching students how to study because all I did all day in medical school was learn how to study. Okay, so that makes sense. You want to solve a problem that you have, but what does it actually take to start a business? What does it actually mean? Well, it's actually surprisingly simple. You only need 3 things to run a business. You need a problem to solve. You need a way to accept payment from people. You need a customer who's willing to pay you. Don't worry about LLCs or tax structures. Don't worry about getting a domain or a social media handle or a website or a logo, whatever. All that stuff can come later. Just focus on those three things. The first two are really simple. You're the one who has the problem, and accepting payment is pretty much easier than ever now. You can use things like Venmo. You can use things like PayPal. You can just get cold hard cash from people. You can use Zelle. I do want to say that whatever app and tool you use to collect money from people, you do want a way to separate it and segment it so you know how much money you are spending in your current business endeavors and also how much money you are earning from your business endeavors. Now, the third part, which is finding people to pay you, is historically the hardest and most difficult problem that all businesses face. But it's actually where being a student can become your secret weapon. Because when you're in school, when you're in college, you are literally going to be surrounded by the younger versions of yourselves every single day. And so what that means is if you're solving a problem that you used to have, then there's probably a lot of look-alike mini-me's past versions of you that are already within your immediate circle of friends or your community. But to scale beyond your immediate circle of friends or something, you're going to need a way for people to discover you more broadly. And this is also why I believe in 2025, one of the smartest things you can do is to start posting on YouTube. YouTube isn't just another social media platform, it's the world's second largest search engine. When people have problems, they go to YouTube for a solution. And here's what most people don't realize, that educational content is exactly what YouTube's algorithm wants to promote right now. There are some crazy trends on YouTube where the platform is actively becoming the world's biggest distribution platform for education. The world is telling us that we need more creators educating and solving problems. And the best part is you don't even really need fancy equipment. Even like an iPhone 11, which is 5 years old or 6 years old, shoots amazing 4K video that will look great on YouTube. Looking back at earlier days on YouTube, some of the better performing videos were the ones that were shot with low production, with a window for lighting in CapCut. Creating great educational content on YouTube isn't about the production quality. It's about the problem that you're solving and how well you can articulate that solution. As a student, you're going to be learning things anyway. So why not just document your process and help others along the way with YouTube? Every test that you ace, every study technique that you master, every college application that you navigate, every social interaction that you encounter and then you overcome, this is a new path for smart creators right now. It's not about choosing between school or business. It's about finding a way to combine them to be one and the same. And in the process, building up your skills and unlocking some more freedom and self-reliance. Now again, I do want to be very honest with you that building a business is not for everybody. And I totally understand that. But the thing is, it doesn't cost you anything to try, right? It doesn't cost any money to post videos to YouTube. It doesn't cost any money to share something that you learned to help someone else out. And so this is something that you can do alongside staying in school, right? You don't have to leave school in order to try out entrepreneurship, right? And you can more fully invest and get deep into whatever else you're currently doing. And so really, there's no downside at all for this opportunity. And so, if you are a student, it probably doesn't feel like this is that big of a decision or not, but taking your first step to try